Hi there. Welcome to how to make your first $10,000 in your new business. And I'm going to talk about specifically as a coach or a consultant or a service provider. I will talk about what I mean in a few minutes. And this is how you go from zero to your first $10,000. I'm going to give you very specific techniques. Then I have a few announcements, many of which you guys have been asking about, and then I will open it for a full Q&A at the end. We might have some guests here. We might have Billy come in later. We might have some other coaches come in later. Not sure. Kind of left it up in the air. We're kind of casual. Yesterday's webinar and today's webinar were a little casual because I'm in Mexico, so we're just feeling a little more casual. Hang on a second. Let me double check the technology and make sure that is all working. And then I will answer a few of your questions, and then we'll get a rocking and a rolling and lose my self-control. If you guys live could let me know if you could both see me and hear me, that would be great. We had some internet problems yesterday, and so what I've done to fix that is instead of using the hotel's Wi-Fi, which has been working perfectly up until yesterday when I needed to work for a live webinar, of course, because I've done other live stuff for private groups and things like that. While I'm here in the hotel, didn't have a single problem. But of course, the webinar I do yesterday with Billy gets all fucked up. So what I've done now is I'm using my phone connection. I use an American company with a hotspot service in foreign countries, and that's actually faster. So this should be better. So yes, if one of you could, or a few of you could tell me if you could see me and hear me, that'd be wonderbar. And then we'll get rock and rolling. Give me my water. Hang on. My shit. Yes. There was an assassination in, what should we talk about where people are filing it? There was an assassination in Ecuador. So I was talking to one of my fitness coaches. He's like, yeah, I thought about you because I heard about this assassination in Ecuador. I know that's your main place, one of your main places. I said, no, actually, never been there. He's like, oh, really? I said, Paraguay, Colombia, Argentina. I'm in Mexico, but not Ecuador. So people kind of confuse all these different South American countries. Thank you. You can see me and hear me. Awesome. Cool. Any questions before we get started? What don't you like about organic marketing? When did I say I don't like organic marketing? I did a clarification video on this. So I think what you're referring to is the YouTube organic marketing when you have a algorithm unfriendly topic, which I do. I don't like that. I have made millions of dollars organic marketing. Blogs, videos, Twitter. I love organic marketing. It's great. So I have nothing against organic marketing. What I am against, and I'm against this, is that if you have a algorithm unfriendly topic and your only mechanism to market that organically is YouTube and nothing else, that's not a good idea because it won't work. I've tried my best. It doesn't work now. I've done organic marketing through blogging. A lot of money doing that. So organic marketing is great as long as you're patient. The money doesn't come as fast, as quickly. You're in Colombia and you can see me and hear me fine. Cool. You're in Colombia? Awesome. You're not close to me, but you're in the region, right? I don't know if Mexico is weird because it's not considered South America, but it is Latin America. And I was reflecting the other day about the difference in vibe between Mexico and Paraguay. So Paraguay, to me, is a relaxing environment. So Paraguay, to me, is let's all go down and sit by the river and talk quietly and smile. That's Paraguay to me. Mexico is like, let's go out and eat a bunch of food and drink a bunch of tequila and get fucking drunk and go fucking dancing and fuck yeah. That's Mexico, because that's where I am now. And it's a little, the vibe is a little different. It's funny, whenever I imitate a Spanish accent, it's always a Mexican accent. Vato, what the fuck are you doing? And it's very Mexican. So when I say that down in Paraguay, like, we don't sound like that. And we don't say vato. That's Mexican. Oh, yeah, all right. Sorry. And it's not even Mexican. It's like Istele, Cholo. It's like that kind of Mexican. So, sorry. Okay. Hang on. Get myself situated here. Wait a few more minutes and we'll get into the content. Let's see. Let me check a few things here to make sure everything is well. Okay, we're good. Yes, we're good. Okay. My YouTube feed, my personal YouTube feed, I have one lock of hair, like right in my eyeball. This always happens. Maybe because my hair is fake. There we go. All I'm scrolling through my YouTube stuff the other day, and it's nonstop guys bitching about the Ashoka series, and I'm like, Ashoka. I'm like, how much do you have to hate yourself to watch that show? Haven't you learned yet? Why do you keep watching this garbage? I mean, it's come up on my YouTube channel because some of you guys. Why do you keep watching this shit? Why don't you just stop? Do what I did and stop watching movies? As of 2017, I stopped. And I stopped watching TV shows unless I'm with my wife, because that's her thing. And even then, I got to go, ugh. Anyway. All right. Hang on a moment. Why is that not coming? Oh, it is working. Okay, cool. I'm all paranoid since yesterday. It's great because the 2 live webinars I've done with Billy, who is not a public figure, right, and has never been. The 2 webinars, we did one when I was here in Mexico yesterday, and the internet fucked up here in the hotel, of course, leaving her alone for a while. Great. And then the one we did a few weeks ago was in Paraguay, and same thing. It wasn't Paraguay, it was the hotel. We had a storm, and it wiped out the electricity, and I clicked off. And so she's sitting here by herself like, That's what Pink Firefly is like that too. If you like ask her a question, like put her on the spot, she's like, she doesn't know, especially if it's in a public forum. Hilarious. I'm gonna wait one more minute. If you have any questions in the intro, Mike, I'll answer them. I'll ask them. Sorry. I am 2 things. I'm about an update on me. So I am about to, right after this meeting, I hop in the Uber and I go down to get my residency renewed here from Mexico. And then when that's nice and secured in terms of permanent residency in Mexico, like my son has, then that'll be done. That'll be done in about a week. I'm here in Mexico for about 6 weeks. Then the next thing I'm looking at in terms of 5 flags is Uruguay. A number of you have asked about that. That's on my agenda for next year, is to research that and get that. I do not have residency in Uruguay. And so this will be one scenario where I'm going to work on residency service for residency I don't have. So when we go through the first process of getting residency in Uruguay, I will probably do it myself, just so I understand the process. Or I'll have Billy get residency in Uruguay. Maybe she might like it. I don't know. She loves Paraguay, so we'll see. Let's see. What else do I want to say about that? Oh, one more thing before we get to the content is when I talk about the West collapsing, a common refrain I've been getting lately, and it's usually from people who probably don't know my content very well, that's fine, is just buy Bitcoin. So if you know me for the last 2 years, you know I am a huge Bitcoin nerd. Not huge Bitcoin nerd, but a huge Bitcoin believer. I have made a lot of money in Bitcoin, starting all the way back in 2016. There's been at least 2 times, 2 or 3, I forget now, where I've made a big swing of money in Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. It's awesome. Just buying Bitcoin is not going to protect you against the collapse of the West. If you just sit in your collapsing Western country and, quote, just buy Bitcoin, I'm sorry, it's not quite that simple. Yes, you should buy Bitcoin anyway. I do. Bitcoin's the shit. Love it to death. It's so funny how it can't get past 20K. It's really funny. But anyway, it's a little more complex. You can't just say, just do this. I've seen that comment several times from many different people on my content, not just YouTube content, other content, where they agree the West is collapsing. You got to get the fuck out, blah, blah, blah. But they say, just do this. Just do this one thing. I wish it was that simple. And for some of you, it might be that simple if you already have an international lifestyle or location-dependent business. That might be fine. But yeah. I think I'm having a problem with the comments. Could one of you put another comment in? For some reason, I may not be seeing your comments here. You people in live, you just say anything. You can say like, fuck you, Caleb. I'll wait a few more seconds. Once I know I can see these comments, then I will start in with the good stuff. I see it. Okay, good. All right. Why is this not really working? What I don't get is this. The collapse of the West is the collapse of the world. Wrong. What will be left? Wrong. You need to watch that video I have. I have at least 2 of them on, but there's nowhere to go. If the Western world collapses, Paraguay, I've said this many times, countries like Paraguay won't even notice the difference. And I mean this. If United States collapsed tomorrow morning and you lived in Paraguay or spending time in Paraguay, it would be on the news and people would talk about it and people just go about their business and there'd be no fucking difference. In Dubai, would there be a difference in Dubai? Yes, there'd be a difference in Dubai, but people for the most part in Dubai would just carry on with their lives. There would be a difference. Some people would be in trouble in Dubai, some people, but not a lot of people. They would just carry on and things would be fine. Southeast Asia, would there be a difference there? Yes, there would. There would be a difference there, but you would see a recovery pretty quick. So the Western world is not the world. That is a very American thing to say. American is very provincial. I have a feeling you're American. And if you're not, I apologize, but I'm betting because a Canadian, someone from the UK, Australia wouldn't say that. Wouldn't say the West is the whole world. Well, without America, America is the world. No. When you travel around the world quickly, you learn very quickly that America isn't the world. And there are a lot of places in the world that are will operate irrelevant of America. Other than, yes, they'll talk about it, it'll be a news story, there might be some minor changes. Like in Paraguay, for example, there might be one or two attorney firms that go out of business if America collapsed tomorrow. And that's about it. That's about it. So, yes. Thank you for your test. I see your stuff. Thank you very much. All right. Let's talk about how to get you your first $10,000 in your new business. Now, first thing is we are now starting to focus on, in Sovereign CEO, not 100%, but we're leaning in the direction, instead of saying, have your own location independent business, a change in the last 6 months. And you might have noticed this, but maybe not. It's pretty hard to notice. If you're in the warm audience and the cold audience, you'll notice this much more quickly. Is instead of saying, have your own location independent income, which is a little too broad, I like to follow my own advice and niche. We're narrowing that down slightly to have your own location independent business as a coach or a service provider. Okay. So, and when I say coach, I'm also implying consultant. The problem with saying the word consultant is how to be your own consultant. Everyone thinks I'm dumb. I don't know anything. I can't be a consultant, and it doesn't work. So we've replaced the word consultant with coach, although we are referring to coaching as well. Coach or service provider. And the reason for that is you get from zero to the money very quickly. I'll talk about that when I talk about the 90-day business builder, which is open again. You can get from zero to the money very quickly when you are a coach / consultant, one or the other, or providing some sort of service. Well, Kayla, what about information? What about online courses and things like that? Those are awesome. Obviously, I love those. Yes, do those. What about selling ebooks? Those are awesome. Obviously, I love those too. What's the problem with those? There's a longer ramp-up time. So how long is it going to take you to write an ebook from scratch, especially if you've never written a book in your life? A long fucking time. If you hired me as your one-on-one daily coach, how fast can I get you that income? Can I get you that income in 90 days, 60 days, 30 days? No, you got to write the damn book. And unless you're an experienced writer, I've written 8 books. I can crank out a book in 4 months. But I've been doing this a long time. If you're new at this and you're writing a book, how long is it going to take you? A year? So you're going to make money in a year? Does that sound motivational to you? So instead, what we're focusing on now is getting you from zero to the money as quickly as possible, which means initially, if your initial offering, your initial product, no online courses for your initial thing, no ebooks for your initial thing. Instead, you focus on coaching, if you want to do one-on-ones, consulting if you want on company, or some sort of service. Because those, we get you the money really quick. You go from zero to money really fast. Then, once you're an active coach, consultant, or service provider, and you have some money coming in, then as your second piece, your second offering, then you do an online course or ebook. Make sense? Because and frankly, a lot of consultants I've worked with, that's what they do. They start out as consultants. I guess that's what I did in a roundabout way. They start out as consultants, or in some cases, coaches. They make money there. Then to offset their work hours and to make money while they're sleeping like I do, then they develop from their coaching and consulting services an online course or a set of courses or some sort of information package or ebook or ebooks or booklets or what have you, and they sell that as an information product as a second product. And I talk about having a long product line of products when you're starting a business, right? So that is a much better model to follow than I want to start a brand new business. I want to make money as fast as I can. I want to be location as fast as I can. So I want to write an ebook. It takes too long. Or even develop a course. Well, then you got to plan the course out. You got to screw around with the technology. You got to record the videos, edit the videos, Now, strangely, online courses are faster to get to the market than ebooks. Even though they're more money, but it still takes time. Whereas if you do a service or coaching or consulting, you can get a client in 2 weeks. I've had guys do this. You get your first paying customers within 2-3 weeks, 5 weeks, really fast. So the model we're starting to adopt here in terms of helping you get from zero to money and be a more free person and get location independent income. And if you want to escape the collapsing West, which is all under sovereign CEO, and to a degree Alpha Male 2.0, is that model. Coaching / consulting / or service provider. Then ebook comes later if you want. Make sense? Another thing too is the barrier to entry is lower. So writing an ebook, most human beings are not going to do this. Most people are not going to write an ebook, right? They're not. Most people are not going to develop an online course. They're not going to do it. They should. I think they should, but they won't because they're nervous. They won't take the time, etc. Make sense? So this is how this works. And this gets you the money faster. So that's a shift in my content, certainly in the last few months. And I'm going to be leaning more in that direction. And again, I want to repeat very clearly because things always get misconstrued. You know, when I used to write blog articles, people say, "You're saying this?" I said, "No, I didn't say that. I said this." I would actually copy and paste the paragraph they were referring to. I don't know what word and I attributed that to low reading comprehension. A lot of people have that. The average person reads at a 6th grade level. Okay, collapsing Western world. And so since going to video, that has lessened a little bit, but not completely. I'll say something. I'll say, "You're saying this?" No, I'm not. So I'm not saying, Caleb said, "Caleb, why don't you?" I'm going to get this question. At some point on my YouTube content down the road, I'm going to get this question. "Caleb, why don't you like ebooks?" That's not what I said. "Caleb, why don't you like online courses? You sell them." That's not what I said. I love ebooks. I love online courses. What I'm now recommending them as your second or third product, not your first product. Your first offering is a service, either a specific business or personal service or coaching or consulting. Okay. I'm writing a book right now. It's called The Unchained Man. You might have heard of it. Love books. If it were up to me and I didn't care about money, I do care about money. But if I didn't care about money, I would just write all day. I'd write books all day. Wouldn't make very much money, but I'd write books all day. I would do it. Fiction and nonfiction. Bro, when I'm 54, maybe. Okay, so just be aware of what I'm saying. Just be clear on this. All right, cool. Let's see. Does Billy create content in her businesses? She does not. She does not, and she should. But she followed that same model that I followed. Consultant, made a lot of money doing that, and then maybe if she wants, I don't know if she's a content person. If she joins us later, you can ask her, but I don't think she's a content person. She's more of a service person, interactive person. I have a feeling writing a book or developing a course would be boring to her. And you may be in that same I can't talk. You might be in that same category. You might be in the category of, I don't want to do information products are great. I don't want to do information. That's boring. Great. I've talked about how you can only sell one of 3 things: hard products, information, or services. Coaching consulting would be a subset of services, right? Your personality is geared toward one of those 3 things. Just by default. And so you might be geared towards services, which means information products. Talk to a lot of people in our coaching programs, like, I don't want to write a book. Fuck that. I want to do a course. Ugh. Or he's like, look, I'll write a course. I'll do a course, but I'll hire someone to write it. I don't want to write it. Great. Don't do that. Lean into services. You can make a lot of money with services. Okay. I know a guy who, I know a lot of guys who do this, but talk to a guy, let's see, in July, yeah. Does $6 million a year as a consultant. Yeah, so you can do a lot of money. He doesn't. He has that single information product. I think he should, but he's doing fine. He's okay. Now that's $6 million revenue. He's got some contractors and stuff, but still, it's him, right? So you make a lot of money with services. Do what makes sense to you within the model of frame I just gave you of service provider, coach, consultant first, information products. Well, Caleb, what about hard products? As you know, I don't focus on those because I don't have the experience to teach that. I don't make money on hard products. I think that would be fun. If I had unlimited time, which I certainly do not, especially lately, then I would do more hard product businesses. If I had just unlimited time, if I had 300 hours a day, then I would probably do that because there's an advantage to it, but that's just not my area. So I only teach what I know works. Make sense? Okay. All right. So I don't have slides today. This is pretty basic in terms of getting your first 10,000. Step one is something, the first few steps are steps I have talked about. The last few steps are steps that I have not talked about publicly, at least not. Number one, top of list, you find a niche with a problem they already have. Let me clarify that, because that's a big problem with a lot of you. Most of you and most normal people who start a company, I've been seeing this for 30 years, and it's a perpetual problem. It's hard to get people out of this mindset. What most people do when they want to start a company and say, I'm a this, therefore I should sell this. In yesterday's live webinar, we had a guy who worked for the military and was a court reporter. Okay, I'm a court reporter, so I'm going to sell court reporting services. That's not the best way to start a business. The best way to start a business, get from zero to the money as quickly as possible, is to find a narrow niche, which I've talked about 10,000 times. A narrow niche. And I've never seen a niche that was a real niche where you could make a 7-figure income. So if you say, well, what if it's too small? I've never seen it. I've seen niches that were not really niches. I've seen niches that were bad for other reasons, but I've never seen a niche that was too small to make $1 million a year from that niche. And that is a literal statement. Okay. So don't worry about being too small. Keep checking the technology over here. Number one, you find the niche. Number two, you find what that niche's biggest problem already is. This is the opposite when you say, I have this skill, I want to sell this skill. I'm good with computers, so I'm going to sell computer stuff. I'm an accountant, so I'm going to sell accounting. The problem with that is you're projecting what you think the niche's problem is onto the niche. If you have to educate the niche as to what you're selling, that is a bad business. Okay? Instead, if you find a niche or are already working with a niche, maybe it's a niche you're already familiar with. Okay, I got lucky on that a few times throughout my business career. You find out what their biggest problem is and see if you can help them with that problem. If you can't, you find out what the second biggest problem is and then you help with that. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You make money. It is the difference between you want water, so you can go out in your backyard, and you're going to dig a well. You're going to dig a hole that's 40 feet, 50 feet down and run a bunch of equipment down there and get some water. Or you can go out to the river, walk out to the middle of the river and stand there. That's the difference between trying to put your services or your desires onto a niche because you want to make money doing what you want to make versus finding a niche, and maybe it's a niche you already know well, maybe it's not, and helping them to solve a problem that they already have that already pisses them off. This is what I've been able to do successfully for most of my business career. Most, not all of it. First years I floundered. But once I nailed this down, all my internet companies, Alpha Male 2.0, Sovereign CEO, I just described what I did. This is literally, I found a niche. It was probably a niche I was already related to or knew of. I listened very carefully to what they were bitching and moaning about. In many cases, I would ask them what they were bitching and moaning about. And I said, aha, I know how to help them solve this problem. And if I don't know all the details, I can hire other people or partner with other people who can give me those specifics. When you join one of our Get Residency programs, am I the attorney who goes through all the paper? No, I hire people to do that. So you don't necessarily have to do all the work either. Okay? So this is really important to getting from zero to the money quickly. Is a niche that has an existing problem that maybe has nothing to do with you, and you're going to help them solve or alleviate that problem. All the way back to when I was Black Dragon teaching hardcore dating advice for men back in 2009. I saw problems there. Really quick on that. So 2009, 2008, online dating back then was a niche. Today, it's not a niche. Everyone does it. But back then, it was this new weird thing. And I was one of only 2 people in the entire internet giving advice about it because I saw it was a growth area. Saw there were a lot of guys like me who didn't want to, go out to bars and clubs for 6 hours a night and 7 nights a week and get drunk and find another way to meet women, right? Then later, I was dating multiple women at the same time, and I started talking about that because a lot of other guys were very interested in that. Then I listened to the audience, and there was a lot of guys who were older guys talking about wanting to date younger women. I said, aha, I can help you do that. So this entire business, Sovereign CEO right here, is an outgrowth of a survey I ran in my Alpha Male 2.0 audience 4 or 5 years ago. Saying, what are your biggest concerns? And the biggest concerns you guys told me back then, you sent in hundreds of emails. I had 6 or 7 questions. What is your concern? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you worried about? What is your problem? What do you want? Okay. And I got hundreds of emails as responses to those questions. I read every single email. I would track the answers. And the top answer at the top was, my country sucks. It's going in the wrong direction. This is pissing me off. I want out, or I want other options. I said, aha, I'm already planning to leave the United States, so they right into that. Okay, so this entire company is a result of me paying attention to what the audience's problems are. That's how you start a business and get from zero to money quickly. Okay, so that's step 2, the problem. Step 3, you attack, and this is a Billy technique. You attack your warm network with a vengeance. And this is what I did in my first business. I did it half-assed, didn't do it well, but I did do this. You sit down, you make a list of everyone you have ever known in your entire life. Pretend you're an Amway. Remember Amway? Amway would teach you how to do this. This is probably why I did this back when I was in my 20s, because I had a few years at Amway. What Amway does is they make you write down this giant list of everybody you know, everyone in your family, all your friends, all your ex-friends. A lot of MLMs do this. I shouldn't pick on Amway, right? Ex-coworkers, people you went to school with. You do that. You get a list of at least 120 people. And I did a list of 140 people, I think. And you contact them. You get on the phone. Phone is better. Less good is social media, which usually needs Facebook or Instagram. If it's older acquaintances, it might be Facebook. I mean, I have, my personal Facebook. I've got people I went to high school with, and I'm in my 50s. This is a long time ago. You call them all, and you catch up for a few minutes, and then you say, hey, I have a business where I help X do Y. Okay? I have a business where I help, because you're going to have a niche, solving a specific problem in that niche, right? That's your business, and you're following the first 2 steps, right? I have a business where I have X do Y. And now if that person is in the niche, you roll right into your pitch. If he or she is not in the niche, you say, do you know anyone? Now, probably they'll say no, but some of them are going to say yes. When I did this, when I was 20, how old was I? 24? I keep forgetting how old I was when I started my first company. 24? I got married when I was 25 because I was an idiot. So it was a year for 24, yeah. Yeah, 24. I went full-time in my first business as a computer consultant, computer networking consultant in 1996. It was 1 year after Windows 95 was released. And I did this. I rented this little office. It was my first full-time business. I rented this. I didn't need an office. I was stupid. But I rented this little office, like $300 a month. And it was, I still have such fond memories of that time, even though it sucked. This little tiny, well, it was a pretty long room, long, skinny, narrow, rectangular room upstairs, the second story of an old house in Portland, Oregon, that was remodeled into a commercial property. So it had a woman's clothing store at the bottom and a little sushi place. So women's clothing or sushi place, that was the bottom floor. The top floor was 4 big rooms that they rejiggered into offices. So it was me and 1 vacant office and 2 artists. It was Portland, Oregon. And it's there. Every person in Portland, Oregon is an artist, a hippie or a pot smoker or an artist. That's what Portland is. And so I would sit there, my little hand-me-down desk, which I got free from my dad, had scratches all over it, and my little laptop. Oh, no, I had a laptop. I had a desktop that was 1996. And I made my little list, and I would pick up the phone, and I would call everybody, and my hand would shake, and I'd be scared. Like, oh, hi, do you need help with your computers? Now, it wasn't quite that bad. It was a little more polished. But I said things like, hey, do you have someone you can help? Excuse me, if they have their own business. When you have a problem with your computers, is there someone you can call? Because unknowingly, I kind of leaned into their problem. A lot of them said, well, no. Someone said, well, yeah, we got a guy. I heard a guy say, well, yeah, we got stuff. It was the owner of a little business. We got stuff like that. I said, oh, you do? So when you have a computer problem, your staff can call someone to get it fixed. He's like, well, hang on. Hey, Sally, do we have a guy? So anyway, you get stuff like that. And I did this, and I got several clients like that. I got 2. I think I had to call 140 people. I got 2 because I was doing it wrong. I wasn't niched. Okay. I wasn't operating on a specific problem. I didn't do steps 1 and 2. So step 3 is you blow your brains out of your warm network. Yes, just like any cold calls, these aren't cold calls, these are warm calls. Most people are going to say no, and that is okay. And whenever you do cold calls or anything like that, you keep reminding yourself emotionally, every no I get needs to be closer to a yes. Or when you get a client, this is standard sales training. They've been teaching for 30 years, 40 years. You get a client, and the client pays you, let's say you're a consultant. Okay, you're going to charge $3,000. You should charge more, but okay, it's $3,000, fine. $3,000. And it took you 22 people to 22 no's. You got 1. The 23rd was a yes, right? So if you do, I won't do the math. What's 3,000 divided by 23? Every no paid you that amount of money, several $100, whatever it is. Okay, that's the games you play emotionally when you call these people. Instead of just, no, no, they said no. I've had 6 people say no. I've had people complain, Caleb, I tried that. I had 6 people who said no. Oh, boo-hoo, you little baby. Really? How normal customers do you need to make a decent amount of money? Something just flashed on my screen. Hang on. You guys still see me? Now I'm getting concerned. Hang on a second. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Fucking internet. Sorry. How many people do you need to make a few $1,000s? How many people do you need to make $10,000? So this goes back to your pricing structure. You need to price on this is my opinion. This is not a technique, although I guess you consider it a technique. The high end of what the niche can afford. Whatever the niche is. Now, different niches can afford different things. I don't think you should be a low-end provider. I don't think you should be a mid-range provider. If you have cheap, I paused for 5 seconds. Now I'm good. Okay, thank you. You can price low, mid-range, or high. Here's my opinion. It's just an opinion, but it's a strong opinion. I think all my opinions are strong. Do I have any minor opinions? I guess not. That's pretty funny. I can go off on a tangent. My view is when you start a business, you look at pricing structures for your company and your initial offering, even if you're new. You can't say, well, I'm new and no one likes me, I'm going to price low. No. It's much harder to raise prices than it is to drop them later. Okay. So what you should be is a little higher than mid-range. So let's say here's low range, mid-range, high range, 2 or 3 notches higher than medium. That's where I think the sweet spot is. And the only reason I say don't go high end is because you probably don't have the confidence as a business owner yet if you're new. Now, you guys, those of you watching, or women, who already have your own companies, right now, you're charging too low. You are charging too low. You are charging too low. Raise your fucking prices. Now, if you need to add in a few extra bonuses, goodies to what you are selling to justify in your own subconscious the price increase, go ahead and do that. You're charging too low. You're charging too low. I am still guilty of this. Sometimes I charge stuff that is too low. Matter of fact, just recently, something for the cold audience that I'm like, that's too low. Shit. It's fine. I made money, but still, okay, you're charging too low. So charge as much. Here's what we teach in 90 Business Builder. When you price something out, the price should make you a little uncomfortable. If you're 100% comfortable, whatever you're charging too low, even if you're new. Your price should be a little uncomfortable. Dan Kennedy, one of my old mentors, used to train chiropractors on how to, make $1 bazillion as a chiropractor. And he would say, okay, your $2,000 service should be $7,000. Like, oh my God, $7,000. And he and his staff would make these chiropractors practice in the mirror. The fee is $7,000. The fee is $7,000. The fee is $7,000 because he couldn't even say it. It's too much. It was all mental. So your price should make you a little uncomfortable. When the prices that I'm charging for something make me a little uncomfortable, I know I'm in the sweet spot. When I'm like, okay, this is good. And sometimes I do that. We all make mistakes. But here's the thing. I have a very large product line. I got 40, 50 products. So I have that excuse. You don't want to be comfortable. You want to have it a little high. Okay, so then that's the first. So that's step what? Step 3. Right off the bat there, you may get enough clients depending on what you're charging, especially if you're a consultant. If you're a consultant, you'd be charging a hunk of money, right? 1, 2 clients make you that $10,000. If you're charging a lower end service or a B2C service, you're going to need more customers. That's fine. But maybe you go from 0 to 3,000 really quick. Great. You're now making $3,000. By the way, we talk about this in 90 Business Builder a lot. Your first $1,000 is the hardest money you'll ever make in your new business. That first $1,000 it's a mental hump you get over. It's very hard because you think, well, I'm an idiot. No one likes me. Who would buy from me? Who would give me money? All of a sudden, you make $1,500. Customers actually pay you $1,500. You deliver your service, and they don't ask for their money back. And you're like, all of a sudden, your subconscious goes, oh, people pay me for this. I'm good at this. Okay, awesome. Got to check my time here. We're good. Great. So then the next hunk of money is a lot easier. To go from 1,500 to 5,000 is easy. To go from 0 to 5,000 is hard because you got to go over that first $1,000 hump. The topic of this webinar or video, if you watch the recording, is 10,000. So that's another hump. You make 10,000, you're like, holy shit, I'm a real business person. Okay. Step 4 is you start contacting people on social media that are somehow related to you. I don't mean physically related. I mean connections on LinkedIn, things like that. Maybe people on your Facebook group or your Facebook page, I should say, who you don't know very well. You branch out to those people, as well as you're going to contact the people who were referrals from that first list. You're going to get a bunch of people. If you do this right, you're friendly, you're a nice person, and you gauge the person and have a little rapport before you actually make this ask. You're going to get plenty of new phone numbers of people to call. You call them. You say, hey, I was talking to Joe the other day. I have a business where I sell X to Y. He was saying you might be interested in this. He wanted me to call you. Is the problem of the niche? Is that a problem you're experiencing? Now, again, if you've already identified the problem, he's going to say, hell yeah. That's yeah. We don't have a problem with that. Well, and you go right into your pitch. And it can be very warm and casual. It's not a professional sales pitch. Okay. Warm, casual. When you see me do webinars where I sell stuff, I'm very casual. It's like talking to my buddy. And that's the attitude you should have with all these warm networking sales is you're talking to an old friend, which in many cases is accurate. You're not trying to be a Mr. Professional. Oh, I have a business owner and oh, I better get this right. And what if they say me? What if they say no? And what if they hang up on me? None of that stuff. You're just talking to a friend. On my dating advice, when I teach men for dating women, what I talk about on that first date, if it's a brand new first date, like from an online meet, you've never met her before, you don't talk to her like, hello, so did you find the place okay? So what do you do for work? Instead, you talk to her like you've known her for 10 years. It's a friend you've known for 10 years. You're just very relaxed and casual. It's the same exact thing for these phone calls and these contacts on social media. The vast majority of you have the ability to start a business right now and just call a few people. When I say few, I mean a lot, okay? Maybe more than a few, 100 plus or 80, and get business right now. I could do this. I don't need to, but I can make a list of contacts right now. It'd be a pretty large, I can just call them and say, hey, I have a company called Sovereign CEO where I help people how to move out of their country or have an international backup plan to very, okay, right, or Alphabet. I can do this and I can get business. I can do it right now. If I had time, I don't. So any of you can do this, just about. That's it. Caleb, I said, sounds very simple. It's not simple because you're not doing it. It's simple, but it's I think I'm back. So here's the problem. Because I am connected, I'm going to wait 1 second here. Hang on. I know what's going on now. Because I'm connected to my phone, anytime someone calls this fucking phone, there is a pause in the video. Okay, so hang on a moment. So every once in a while, I will be pausing and just chill. I will be back. That means someone is ringing this phone. I'm a popular guy. I get a lot of phone calls. I apologize. All right. I already forgot where I was, but I made my point. Few quick announcements on things that you guys have been asking about, and then I'll open it for Q&A. I'll stay for as long as I can before my appointment at the Mexican Immigracion. How do you say Mexican in Mexican? Mexicano. Few things. Number one, the 90-day Business Builder program. We reopened it last month, and we just started it for August. It is the largest group, I believe this is correct, the largest group we've had for the 90-day Business Builder program we've had since we started this program over a year ago. Holy shit. So there was a number of you who came in late and said, hey, I want to do this, and it was too late. So we're doing the night again. Sorry, I paused again. This is so irritating. What I'm gonna do is hold the phone in my hand, and if I see a phone call, I'm gonna swipe left. Sorry, so irritating. I gotta find a better hotel next time. Stay in Mexico. We are doing let me rewind myself. There were a number of you who couldn't sign up for the 90-day Business Builder program last month and wanted to, and it was too late. So we are doing another iteration, 90-day Business Builder right now as an encore presentation. So this will start in September 1st or around there, whatever that Saturday is, September 7th, I forget. The first Saturday in September. On that, but around, so you have, sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so many phone calls. We're just have to go through that. We're just going to suffer through this, guys. I'm sorry. You've got about 10 days or so to sign up. 90daybizbuilder.com. You set up a phone call and we hook you up. One of the reasons I think this program has increased in popularity is we have cut the price by $2,000. I think it was a little overpriced in terms of what the market could bear. That's one of the rare times where the price was too high. So it used to be about $7,000. Now it's around $5,000. You can sign up now. It starts in early September. 90daybizbuilder.com. Now, what we're also doing, if you sign up for the 90-day Business Builder program for the next iteration in September, we are going to give you 1 free month of Founder's Sanctum. Let me explain what that is. That is a program where you get 8 group coaching calls, not one-on-one, group coaching calls with one of our coaches, 8 per month, 2 per week. Sometimes we have guys who are doing the Business Builder program and the Founder's Sanctum at the same time. And so this means that on your first month of 90-day Business Builder program, in addition to getting that curriculum and that course, for the month of September, you will get 8 group coaching calls with a high-income, location-dependent coach. I do one of them a month. I think Billy does some, Cliff does some. We have a few people doing, okay? We will throw that in for free. You get a bonus. You get free Founder's Sanctum. That is normally, I think, $300 a month or $400. I think it's $300 a month. $297 a month. It's free. We throw that in for free. If you sign up for Business Builder in the next 2 weeks to get started before the end of the month, your deadline is August 31st. So what is today? I mean, you only have what? Week and a half? 90daybizbuilder.com. You get a free month of Founder's Sanctum. So you're going to get so much help that month. You can't not make money. Because you're going to have the first month of 90 Day Business Builder, which is the most intense month. Plus, you're going to have, on top of that, 8 group coaching sessions where it's an open Q&A. You just ask the coach whatever you want based on your goals, what you want to do with your business. It is the business version of what we used to have SMIC or UMS now. Okay? So that is a bonus for those of you who sign up now or in the next week and a half. 90daybizbuilder.com. If you're watching the recording, there is a link below. If you do not have the money for that yet, you can go ahead and sign up for the Founder's Sanctum program, which is $297 a month. There's no agenda. There's no course. There's no curriculum. We don't tell you what to do. There's no materials. It's a much cheaper program, but you get a lot of group coaching sessions. We just ask questions. Okay, you can join that as well. The deadline for that is the same, August 31st. Cool? If you can't afford a few $1,000 right now. It is tax deductible. Let me go back to 90 Day Business Builder. It is tax deductible. Please check with your accountant. Yes, you can make payments. You can make payments. You don't need all the money up front. That is fine. We don't care. We have, you know what? I was just talking to my sales staff, my finance staff the other day. We have a really good group of customers. The number of people who go on payments for these programs and don't make all their own payments, it's microscopic percentage. A lot of guys in my industry, the online space, they have like 15, 20% of people who don't make all their payments. It's less than, I think, 4%. It's awesome. You guys are so awesome. We have the best. I have one of the best audiences. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a little secret. I have one of the best audiences in the entire internet because when I do joint ventures, my audience is more engaged than the other person's audience. And the other people are like, God, your audience is fantastic. I know. You guys are the shit. You guys are amazing. So anyway, so you can make payments. That's okay. If you can't afford it now, you can join the Founders Sanctum. It's $300. That is also tax deductible. Please check your account. Okay. Next thing on the agenda is one-on-one coaching with me. So about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I reopened this for a few slots, and it's worked differently than I thought. It worked better. So a few people who signed up for that said, they signed up, they said, well, I don't need coaching until October. And one or two signed up and they just burned through a lot of their sessions and they're almost done, which means it opens up more slots for me. So here's how I'm handling this now. At the moment, as of the date of this recording, what is today's date? August 23rd. As of August 23rd, I have 2 slots open for one-on-one coaching with me. What I was saying earlier is that the price point for that is a minimum of $10,000. Can't afford $10,000. Here's what I'm willing to do for those 2 slots. Email me at theonlyblackdragon@gmail.com. I will put that in the chat. Hang on. onlyblackdragon@gmail.com. Okay. Email me at theonlyblackdragon@gmail.com. In the subject line, put send to Caleb-coaching to make sure the email goes to me. If you want to work with me one-on-one for a few months to solve whatever problems or improve your condition in terms of business, 5 flags, time management, and yes, woman stuff, if that's what you want. I've had a few guys sign up for that. Fine. No problem. It's one of my favorite topics. That's okay. I like business and I like women. I like both. You can do this, but if you can't afford $10,000, you can tell me what you can afford. You can say, look, I can't afford $10,000, but I can do $6,000. Then what I'll do is I'll take those emails and I will pick the highest bidders. Now, if I get a bunch of guys who are willing to pay $10,000, sorry. But if I don't, I can work with you. You'll get less sessions. You won't get as much coaching from me for less money, but I'm willing to do that to fill those 2 slots because why not? Because it's worked out pretty well in terms of I thought I'd be like diluted with like coaching, deluged with coaching appointments, and that didn't happen. So I'm a little more relaxed and confident about offering one-on-one coaching with me. So if that's something you want to do, if it is a business topic, it is tax deductible. If it's all woman stuff, it probably isn't. Check with your accountant. Okay, so I am available for that. I have 2 slots left. 2. As soon as I bring on 2 people, as soon as 2 people pay their invoices, and on that, no, you can't make payments. Sorry, this is my personal time. No. But as soon as 2 people pay, I'm full up again. I will not be able to do any one-on-one coaching with anybody. Cool? I'll be very transparent about what is available to me. Okay? Or what is available to you. All right? Next thing. All of a sudden in the last 6 weeks, we've got a whole bunch of emails of people asking about Get Residency events, primarily Paraguay, Armenia, and Dubai. So the Get Residency, let me go through all those. The Get Residency, so first let me remind myself. What you need to do is you need to go to and bookmark this. If you are interested in any live events, we have a whole bunch coming up, or Get Residency services or seminars. I've got a few seminars planned, masterminds. Okay, what you need to do is go to calebjones.com/events. And you need to bookmark that page. And that we constantly update whenever we assign a date to a new event. Get Residency Paraguay, Armenia, what have you. We plug it into that page. That's the page you want to refer to. Right now, there's just 2 things on there. So I'll go through the events in order of when they're going to occur. First one is I'm in Guadalajara, Mexico right now. If you are in the region, United States or Mexico or Central America, wherever, or even maybe Colombia, and you want to hang out with us in early September, I think September 2nd and 3rd of the dates, you can go to, hang on. I have too many links for too many products. Hang on a second. sovereignCEO.io/quad. I will put this in the link below. Hang on. sovereignCEO.io/quad. I'm doing a seminar here in Guadalajara, I believe on the 2nd. I'm doing a mastermind here in the 2nd. Mastermind is when I have a maximum of 5 people. We just sit in a hotel room all day long from 10 to about 6 p.m. And it's intense one-on-one coaching with each person in the group. Plus you get feedback from other people in the group. And then we all go out to dinner. I buy you dinner. Okay, so I'm doing that, I believe, the 3rd. That's the Sunday. Okay. I'm doing a cheap for me, seminar, Five Flags Business Seminar in Guadalajara on September 2nd. Tickets available now. You have just maybe like 8 more days to sign up for those. Cool? Cool. Okay. Next thing. We're doing 3-4 events in Dubai in November. We're doing something called the Dubai Super Conference. I will put the link in the chat. That is I'll put the link below in the description for you guys watching the recording. Hang on. November. That is at sovereignCEO.io/Dubai Super. I just put the link in the chat. I'll put the link below for the recording. What that is you can go to the page and look. Between the first week of November, there's 3 different events. One is called the Dubai Adventure, where you hang out with me and Billy and some other people. And we do excursions or events for about 6 days in a row, all of us. We go to Burj Khalifa. We go dune bashing. We ride camels. You have a visit with real estate realtors, looking at real estate. If that's something you're looking at, want to get an apartment, things like that. We have business experts you meet with. We have a banker that you will meet with. You go to the old town, check out the souks. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Go to the webpage and look. It's a pile of stuff. It's like the price point's like $600. Nothing. Yes, you got to fly to Dubai. Yes. But November is one of the best times to visit Dubai. And November is also when you guys who are doing the Get Residency and Corporation in Dubai service are also coming. So if you do the Get Residency Corporation in Dubai service, which is still open, I think Billy yesterday said it's sold out. It is not sold out. It is still open. Link below for that. If you get your residency in Dubai or your residency or corporation, you can also join us for these events, and you get 50% off these events because you're already going to be there. So we timed it all where everyone's going to be there at the same time. That's the first event. So you have the Get Residency Dubai service. Okay. Then you have the Dubai Adventure, which is about $600 or $700, I think. Then we're going to have a seminar. Let's see, I think it's November 11th. Dates are in the website. I'm going to be doing a full seminar for several hours on lifestyle and Five Flags, Dubai and other areas of the region, Europe, places like that, business stuff, and some Five Flag stuff I have not talked about yet. That I will not be covering at the Guadalajara seminar either. Okay. Then the next day, we'll be doing another mastermind in Dubai. That'll be a mega mind. That'll be me and Billy. You get Billy, it's 2 for the price of 1. So that'll be the next Sunday. So you can do all 3 events or just the events you want. The seminar is pretty cheap. The Dubai Adventure is $600-700. The mastermind is about $2,000. Okay. And if you do all 3, you get a discount. If you're doing the Dubai Get Residency Corporation service, if you want residency or corporation Dubai to save a bunch of money on taxes, especially if you're not an American, oh my God, you should get that first. Then you get a 50% discount on all these. Okay. So that is November. Your deadline to sign up is mid-October. Link below. Okay. Next thing. A bunch of you, I don't know why, all of a sudden people, just a group of people ask the same thing. I don't know if people read each other's minds. We are doing another Get Residency in Paraguay service and a Get Residency in Armenia. We do not have dates for those, but we are definitely doing them. So those will be, Armenia will be early next year. Paraguay will be, I don't know, March, April, and then maybe again in June. As soon as we have dates, calebjones.com/events. Go there. And that's all the dates. If you don't see it there yet, that doesn't mean we're not doing it. It means we don't have assigned dates yet. So we'll be updating those pages. And I will be updating these dates like in the next 4 or 5 days. That's a big priority on my to-do list, is to plan out 2024. Okay. Also, January, we are doing a Get Residency in Mexico. I believe the dates are January. I don't know. They're on the website. Get Residency in Mexico and a Get to Know Guadalajara service. So you can come down to Mexico instead of getting residency. We have events for that. We've done several of these events and we've asked for feedback on all these events. And one of the most regular forms of feedback that we've received is that on these events, Caleb doesn't spend enough time with us. So we have rectified that. So in the Dubai thing, I'm going to be with you probably almost every day. Same thing with the Get Residency in Paraguay thing and the Armenia one. The Get Residency in Mexico one, Billy will be putting that on because I'm already here in Mexico. I can't come back that soon. So Billy will be putting that one on. To get residency in Mexico, I have my residency. It's awesome. It's great. You just whip out your residency card, and you breeze right through the airport. Getting Mexico residency is awesome. So we're doing that in January, okay, 2024. What else am I forgetting? I'm probably forgetting 6 things. I think that's all. Yes. Okay. So recap quick. 9-day business builder. You got a week and a half. Founder Sanctum. You got a week and a half. You get a free month of Founder Sanctum 9-day business builder. Dubai Get Residency and the Dubai adventure stuff. You got that. You have my Mexico Guadalajara seminars and masterminds. You got like 8 days to sign up for that. You better hustle on that. Cool. And then yes, we are doing Paraguay, Armenia, and Mexico. Get residency in all 3 of those early next year. Cool? Cool. If any questions, let me know in the chat. Okay. I can hang out for a bit and I will do Q&A. So if you have not yet asked your questions in the chat, you may do so. I will go back up. Why is my screen so tiny? This is dumb. Let's see. Hang on. My chat. Can I put the chat on another screen? Oh, man. This is... Hang on a second. When you're traveling, I have multiple monitors, but they're smaller than I'm used to. So I get spoiled. I get spoiled in Dubai with all my setup. Let's see. Some of you is asking, do 9-day business builder is too expensive? Founder's Sanctum, $300. We purposely kept the price low for that to get people in there who don't have a lot of money. You get a lot of it. Again, we're not going to tell you what to do in that, but you can ask all the questions you want live in a small group with a coach, me or someone else, who makes at least $85,000 a year, 100% location dependent. Some of them way more than 85. Billy and I make way more than 85,000. Okay, $300, and you can deduct off your taxes, even if you don't have a business. Check your account. Let's see. Hi, Caleb. I market the words of Allah to a secular audience. How long will it be to earn 10K? I don't think you did what I talked about earlier. You are probably very passionate about Islam, which is great. I live in a Muslim country, sort of. Dubai is kind of a gray area, right? You are not asking what is the niche's biggest problem. You are projecting what you want onto the niche. So it's going to take you longer than what I described in this webinar. Okay. Instead, you need to narrow down and find a niche that is desperate for spiritual guidance or something. I don't know how you would do that. So you're not following those first 2 steps. You're taking what you want to do and you're projecting it onto the niche. It's harder to do that. I don't recommend you do that. If you want to do something like that, I recommend you use it as a hobby. So I walk my talk on this. What I would like to do to make money, I've said this many times. You know what I'd love to do to make money? Write fantasy novels. Why don't I do that? I'm not going to make any money doing that. If I did it, no, Caleb, you have a big audience now. You could do, yes, I could do it now. And even now, if I wrote a big 1,200-page fantasy novel, which I have, I spent all that time and effort, and I put it on Amazon, and I advertise it to you guys, a bunch of you will buy it. How much money will I make if I'm selling for $10 a pop? Not much. So what I've done is I've relegated that to a hobby. And maybe I'll make a little money with it later, and I won't care how much money I make because it's a hobby. That's what I recommend you do. That's your life. It's up to you. Do you do a real estate program in Turkey? No. What do you think about by buying 500K US real estate? No, I will never do a residency program in Turkey, because if I say get residency in Turkey, all you need is $500,000. 99.9% of my odds go. I focus on countries where you do not have to move there to get residency. You don't have to buy anything. That's what I focus on. So that is, at the moment, that is, what is that? UAE, which is Dubai, Armenia, Mexico, Paraguay, and I'm going to add Uruguay. Those 5. There are some other places that are pretty good, Ecuador, but you have to buy something, or you have to be there X amount of year. I don't want to do that. I want to give you the easiest, cheapest residencies to get. And that's what we focus on here at Sovereign CEO. We are nomad capitalists for the normal person. Nomad capitalists are people who make 7 figures or more. They can afford to buy a house for $500K. Most of you can't, or wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't buy a house in Turkey and just get Turkish residents or citizens. I wouldn't do it. What's the point? No thanks. I like my Mexican residency and my Paraguay residency and my Dubai residency and my Armenia. I like those. Those are the shit. Love them. Let's see what else. Hang on. Hi, Caleb. I make websites mostly for smaller, medium-sized businesses. That is not a niche. I'm trying to niche it down a bit. Good. Most of my clients are marketing agencies that don't have website designer. How do you niche down? It's called burrowing. So what type of marketing agency or marketing agency that appeals to what type of customer or what type of industry? You narrow down, you burrow from there, and you keep burrowing. Okay. A marketing agency that focuses on sports companies. So that's one level of burrow. You burrow again. Marketing agency that focuses on golf companies. Okay. One of my clients, when I did hardcore consulting, do a little consulting now, not much, was a golf company. They put on events for golf companies. They made money. God, they were just printing money because they were niched. So that's how you do it. Also, I design websites. I got 2 letters for you, AI. So I would start modifying your service fast because very soon, no one will need to pay you. AI will do, press a button, AI will make a web page for you. So something a little more specialized than I make websites. Strong recommendation to you. Look ahead and see what is the viability of my business idea, not just now, but 5 years from now. 5 years from now, I'll use my business as an example. 5 years from now, will people still want to leave the United States, Canada, UK, Australia, or have international options? Not only is the answer yes, it'll be more. I'm on a growth trend. Regardless of what happens to AI. AI may make this worse. Worse isn't better for me. Okay? So you want to look at when you sell something, not just what you're selling now, will this be viable in 5 years with the changes occurring in the world? 10 years, 15 years. Maybe not in 15 minutes to pivot. You get my point. Any other easy and fast residency decision other than Armenia? Yes, UAE is so the fastest, easiest residencies that cost a little money are Armenia and Dubai. Now, Dubai, you got to buy a corporation. That's the only problem there. There's a fee associated with it. But you get your card. If you come with us in November to your Dubai residency, you land on November 2nd. You leave on November 16th, 2 weeks. You leave with your residency card. That's how fast it is. It's fast. Armenia is also pretty fast. Paraguay takes a little longer. It takes about 90 days. So you'll be able to go back in 90 days. You just go there once, and then they can mail you the card or whatever. Mexico, it takes about. Mexico's a little long because Mexico, you have to visit your Mexican embassy or consulate in your home country first, do a bunch of bullshit, and then you come to Mexico. So that takes time. So, but those are the top 3, top 4 right now in the world. But if you want I want a residency fast, it's Dubai or Armenia. Is Thailand easy? What do you mean by easy? Can you please repeat the 5 countries you recommend? Okay. Dubai/UAE, United Arab Emirates. People think Dubai is a country. It's not. It's a city in the United Arab Emirates. Mexico, Armenia, Paraguay, Uruguay. Uruguay is the 5th. We do not offer services for this yet, but we will. I'm going to add this because we used to offer Panama. I had to cut Panama off the list because they went insane. So now I'm going to replace that with Uruguay in 2024. Uruguay, where Doug Casey lives and his buddy. I was going to try to do that this year, but I just didn't have time. Easy to get residency. Easy-ish, not as easy as the 5 countries we recommend. No. There is a bunch of other financial requirements. You have to stay there. Some of you might be able to answer this in the comments, at least on the replay of this. Thailand is either you have to pay a big fee or buy something or to stay there a while. One of those 3 things. Whereas the 5 countries we recommend, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to buy anything. And when I say buy, I mean buy real estate. You don't have to buy any real estate. You don't have to go there. You don't have to spend a lot of time there to maintain your residency. If you get residency in Dubai, well, how much time am I going to be there per year? You have to land in Dubai once every 6 months. And literally, you can land in the airport, walk out of the airport, wave at the buildings, walk back in the airport, leave, and that counts. You can spend literally half a day twice a year in Dubai, and that maintains your residency. Pretty cool. Yeah. Will Armenia make the passport requirements harder with all the Russians flooding in? Learning Armenian for the citizenship forms is one thing, but I wonder if they'll tighten it up even more. The general answer to that question for all countries is yes. 5 flags gets harder every year you fucking wait. You cannot wait on this stuff. At some point, you're right. Armenia will start cracking down. All 5 of these countries, with the possible exception of Dubai, I don't know. Dubai's smart. But all these countries will start making this more difficult. You know, you used to be able to get citizenship, not residency, citizenship in Paraguay when I started this process in 2018. Citizenship. You get residency, which is pretty easy. And then you just wait 3 years, they give you a passport. It was awesome. And then they canceled that because too many people started doing it. So it is possible, yes, with Armenian residency and citizenship. By the way, if you don't know what he's talking about, you get Armenian residency, you get permanent residency, which I have there now. And then you wait 3 years. You go to take a test in Armenian. You don't have to speak it. You have to read it. Multiple choice. And then you get a passport. And yes, they could between now and I go in November of next year. I've got about a year and 3 or 4 months before I get that passport. But yes, they could change their minds. Absolutely. It's happened in Panama. It's happened in Paraguay. It's happened in numerous countries. You just got the news a while back about how like the UK is no longer accepting some of these Caribbean citizenship by investment passports. Yeah, and how these Caribbean countries have raised the price of their passports. Right. And a bunch of you freaked out and sent me emails. Yes, guys, this gets harder every fucking year you wait. Stop waiting and get on this now. Every year you wait, 5 flags gets harder with every country. Why do you think I ran around like a fucking maniac in 2021 getting all these residencies? Because I know it's coming. I've got I'm covered now. I'm good. I've got the residencies. I'm in. Those of you with residencies or passports, you're good now. You're in. If you don't have any residencies or any passports, my God, you know how frightened I would be if I were you right now? I'd get on this now. But Caleb, I don't have any money. Our get residency services are just a few $1,000s. Nomad Capitalist, Andrew Henderson is a friend of mine. I love him to death. He's a great guy. His cheapest service, his cheapest service is $75,000. That's his cheapest low-end shitty, right? Ours is, all of our services are less than $10,000. Like Mexico, I think it's $5,000. It's nothing. Okay. And in some cases, you can deduct that if your taxes, like the Dubai one is deducted. So you write that off. And write off the travel and things like that. So yeah. Don't wait, guys. I say this over and over again. And the reason I say this, I know when I have guys in my audience saying, oh man, I wanted to get Paraguay, now I can't. Yeah, because you waited too long. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I provide financial advice online. I do newsletter on Substack. Okay. And also trying to do YouTube and X. Just call it Twitter. We're just kidding. I used to focus on crypto. Should I focus on one platform? How can I niche down more? Yes. Yeah. Crypto. What type of crypto? Crypto. What sector of crypto? That's niche stuff. Crypto is not a niche anymore. It was 5-6 years ago. Crypto was a niche. Like online dating was a niche. 15 years ago now, everyone knows. So crypto is no longer a niche. You need something inside crypto. You need at least one level deep into there, either a particular type of crypto or like the people I work with. We did a webinar on this on AI, automated crypto investing, things like that. So yes, you should. One or two, if you're already in crypto, well, you're not in crypto. Yes, crypto, and then one level deeper into crypto. Yes. Also, my opinion, I would not rely my entire business on an external platform. Substack is great, but I would not rely on that. I would start there, and then I would move it off to your own platform. Even if it's just a WordPress blog that you own the software to on your own hosting, not WordPress.com, but the stuff you get from WordPress.org. And you want to control your own platforms because you can get canceled. There's a lot of people on Patreon and these kind of services, and Blogspot who got canceled. They snapped their fingers and wiped out their business. That you don't want to do that. So I recommend if you want to start there, fine. I would eventually migrate to a platform that you own and control. I own all my own platforms. I'm on YouTube, but as you can tell, I don't give a fuck. YouTube canceled me, fine. I don't care. I have all my own platforms. Let's see. Maybe I should have started years ago. Well, I mean, I should have got started before I did. Right? How do you get residency in Thailand? I do not know. That is not a question. That is not a country we cover because that is not as easy a residency as the 5 I listed. So I don't know. You'll do your own research. And I want to give you incorrect information. I know it's not as easy as the countries we cover. I got to keep an eye on the time here. Hang on 1 second. Keep asking your questions. I got to double check. I don't want to be late for my residency appointment. I got to make sure. Let's see, 11:15. Let's see. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Do you do everything to help people set up countries in tax-free zones and other things like NC? In the UAE, yes. I'll put the link right now to the Dubai Get Residency Service. Hang on. We'll just go to calebjones.com/events. Actually, I'll do it myself. Hang on. I think this will work on my stupid phone. I'll put the link below in the recording. Yes, the Get Residency Service. And in fact, you know what? I have it here. Hang on. I do have that. The answer is yes. You get residency and a corporation for the Get Residency in Dubai service. We do both there at So that's another step in the process that we can help you with. Yes. Yes. The answer is a big yes. Now, hang on. I really want that link. Hang on a second. Seminar, Dubai Mastermind, live stream, Dubai Get Residency. Here we go. sovereignCEO.io/DubaiGR. Yep, there it is. So let me put that in the chat. A lot of links, huh? The answer is yes. You do everything Nomad Capitalists would do within that narrow thing. We're niched. So you get your Dubai residency and corporation. The checking account is not included, but we can introduce you to the right people you need to talk to. And it takes another week or two to get a checking account. The one downside of Dubai is setting up checking accounts. The banks work great once you're there. Once you're a customer, it takes like 2 weeks to get a checking. You can't just walk in and get a checking account that day like here in the United States. It takes about 2 weeks. They do a lot of checks and background checks and stuff. They want to be very careful. But then yes. So the answer is yes. What kind of niches would be around communication? Communication is so broad. There's probably 50,000 niches in that niche. I don't know. I have a talent for communicating and teaching, but I'm unsure how to market that. You're starting off way too broad. Teaching what? Don't start so broad. I'm good at communicating with people. Way too broad. That's like saying I'm good at money. What? Making money? Investing money? Investing where? What kind? Same thing. So start a lot lower and then go from there. Why is Mexico a good residency? Taxes don't seem particularly low. It is if you stay here less than 183 days a year. My son lives here, but he's here less than 183 days a year. So if you stay here less than 183 days a year, there is zero tax here. Now, if you want to live here full time, you're right. Now, not particularly low is still way fucking lower than the United States. United States, Canada, Europe is the highest in the universe. So anything is less bad than that, even if you want to live in Mexico full time. Another reason it's easy is because it's easy. You go to an embassy, you sit there for 2 minutes, they stamp a form, you go down to Mexico, you show a form at the airport, and then you go to an immigration department and they hand you your card. That's it. It costs nothing. It's the cheapest. It is the least expensive residency in the world. It's awesome. And Mexico doesn't give a shit about things. They were one of the few countries during the pandemic that left their borders wide open and didn't give a shit about the vaccine. Plus. Very good. Okay. And you could argue that, I could go on about Mexico. Those are several reasons. If you're worried about taxes, don't stay here more than 183 days a year. Spend half the year in Mexico and half the year in Colombia. I don't know what the fuck you want to do. And my son has a whole system. He lives here. His girlfriend. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hang on a second. Hi, hang on. Sorry, I was muted. God damn it. Testing, testing. Okay, sorry about that. That was my fault. Sorry. Can the LGBT pride flag be one of my 5 flags? Sure. You can fly the flag of the Federation. That's a Star Trek reference. Have you ever seen the electricity, internet, or water go off in Asuncion? Never, except for that one time when there was a storm that hit. But that happens to me in the United States all the time. A big storm and electricity goes out for a few hours. That happened to me once during a big storm. Outside of that, no. Very reliable. I have had that issue in Armenia. I've had an issue with the internet in Armenia. I have had that issue. And I think power, so internet power, I've had that issue in Armenia. They've improved that. So, but in Paraguay, never outside that one time I had a storm. So Paraguay's pretty good about that. Outside of having a storm, never had a single problem with infrastructure in Paraguay, not once. I'm in Mexico. You see how much trouble I'm having here? Fucking hell, man. I think this is the location I'm in here in Mexico. It's not Mexico. Mexico's a big giant country. So if I went down the street to a nice office, I wouldn't have this problem. I'll probably do that next time. So yeah. Lockdowns will start in October. No, they will not. Stop believing the news. All the countries escape for all the corona madness. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. The simple answer is outside the Western world, your odds are better. Now, I've talked about this before. We can do a thing on corona again if you want. There's no point. Most countries on the planet Earth did not handle coronavirus well. Okay, Mexico did. Dubai did. They handled it great. There are a few weirdos countries like Belarus did. Outside of that, every country sucked. Panama was awful. Paraguay was awful. The United States was awful. It was a whole world phenomenon. But hey, if your priority is I don't want to dip with lockdowns and problems and vaccines during the next pandemic, Mexico. And to a lesser degree, Dubai. Dubai had one lockdown for about 3 weeks at the very beginning, and then they were done. They never had another lockdown again. They opened their entire borders. They opened up the entire city. They did not mandate vaccines. Later, they did if you are a citizen, not a resident like me. Awesome. I had a great time in Dubai during the pandemic. You had to wear masks outside. That was one stupid thing. Other than that, handled it comparatively very well. I'm trying to help someone with their business. Is there any niche on top of your head for artistic furniture business? Not ideal, but that's what they do. You're trying to help someone with a business that sells furniture? Is that what you're doing? You're trying to help them as a consultant? Then if you want to help them, I think that's what your question is. If that's your question, then do I have sound? Tell me if you can hear me. I will wait. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm scared. Get scared for a second. All right. Here's what you do. Help them get clients, help them get customers, help them market their stuff. So you can market, you can service hard products companies. That's fine. I've been a consultant to many hard products companies. I made a lot of money doing that. That's fine. You shouldn't sell hard products unless you are outside of my models. That's not true. You can still be in the Sovereign CEO model set, Alpha 2 model set if you sell hard products. I can't help you. You're trying to help someone, yeah, do it. It's great. Do you need residency in Armenia to open a bank account? No, you do not. That may have changed, but I'm pretty sure you do not. No, you do not. Do you need an Armenian phone number? No, you do not. You will need help, though. You'll need help with an attorney. You can't just walk into a bank and do it by yourself. If you hire an attorney to help you, you can get a bank account in Armenia without being a resident. Yes. It's awesome. Someone is asking a dating question. Let's save those for next week. I'll do an Alpha 2.0 Q&A thing next week. You can ask me all the girl questions you want. Cool? Cool. All right. Any reason why Mexico was the best during the pandemic? Strongly consider moving there. I don't know the internals of Mexican politics to understand why, but they were one of the few countries in the world whose borders were wide open and didn't give a shit about the vaccine. And I remember seeing those maps where it showed the entire globe, map of the planet, and it was all these red. It was all red, meaning borders locked down. You didn't need a, vaccine. And Mexico is one of the few green ones. Like, come on in. Awesome. Mexico, just the culture here is one that not 100%, because they do get a little bit to the United States, but they are the culture of we don't give a fuck what you do. We leave you alone in terms of official government policy. It's one of the least give a shit about you countries there are in the world, which is why I like it. Now, there are some exceptions to this. Sometimes you get a little weird at the airport, because they copy America and some of that shit. But outside of that, they don't give a shit about what you do. And that's the country you want to live in, a country that leaves you the fuck alone. I live in Dubai. I've been there for years now. I have never been pulled over by a police officer, not once in Dubai. I've had any run-ins with any cops of any kind, not once. In America, it's several times a year. We talked about Pink Firefly, just a video. Her and I just did a video a few weeks ago. As soon as we land in the United States, within 24 hours, we're pulled over by a cop. If you want to live a free life, you want to live in countries that leave you the fuck alone and don't give a shit about you and don't make you do this and do that and say, why are you doing this? And you get a vaccine or you're not allowed to go here. Hey, you're speeding. Fuck off. Leave me alone. It's Libertarian 101. And if you do 5 flags, you have multiple of these countries, you're good to go. You're free for the rest of your life. Good. All right, a few more questions, and I got to jet to my residency appointment. They are family. I want to help them out by advising them without getting too much involved. If you could recommend any niche for artistic furniture, that would be great. I can't recommend a niche because I don't know artistic furniture. I'm very sorry. And I don't know why you're helping your family. Charge them money and stop fucking around and start a business where you make money. I love my family too, but I'm not going to spend my limited time giving a bunch of time. If you're charging the money, great. Never mind. If you're not charging the money, ask yourself why you spend that kind of time. Mexico was there. We all took our vaccinations from 2020, 2021. Everyone else was restricted. Oh, vacations. You took your vacations there. Yeah, man. Me too. Dubai, Mexico were one of the few countries in the world you could just go. One of the reasons I moved to Dubai, many of you forget this, I moved out of the United States during the pandemic. And one of the reasons I chose Dubai is they're like, sure, come on in, we don't care. Worst case that happened in Dubai for a few months is that when you landed in Dubai, you had to show a stupid PCR test, but everyone had to show it. Fine. And they stuck that thing up your nose. Not even a few months, a few weeks, and they stopped doing it. At the airport, that's it. Like, okay, have fun. It's awesome. All these other countries were locked down, and fuck that. What is your name in Arabic? Mahmoud. That's also my name in Klingon. All right, let's do one more question, and I got one or two more, and I got to roll. Guadalajara seminars, all the events in Dubai, 90-day business builder, 90daybizbuilder.com. Schedule your phone call, get on that fast. Founder Sanctum, if you want on that. Cool. And then I will update you on Paraguay and Armenia get residency services. CalebJones.com/events. Go if you have any interest in these programs. Go there and bookmark this. One more thing. You need to be on, if you have interest in these programs and you're not on my mailing list, you're not getting regular emails from me, you need to join my mailing list because you will miss it. Yes, I'm on YouTube, but tens of thousands of people read my emails. When I do a YouTube video, I get maybe 1,000 views at best. Okay? YouTube is a little tiny little pinch of my business. You need to go on my mailing list if you're not on. If you're on there, great. If you're not on my mailing list, go to calebjones.com. At the top of the thing, it says download Location Independence Toolkit. Click that and you register, and that'll get you on my list, my mailing list. So you get all the notifications of these things. Okay? If you have no interest, do whatever you want. If you have an interest in these programs, you need to be on that mailing list. Okay? And if you were on the list and you're not getting the emails, let us know. That's a lot more important than my YouTube channel. I just did a video about this, about the importance of your mailing list. Okay? But I mean this. A lot more people read my emails. 10x, 50x, 100x, whatever, than watch my fucking YouTube videos. Right? All right. Caleb, you talk about other countries leaving people alone. I remember saying you're still a U.S. citizen. Why are you if other countries are better, or is it too personal? I am actively working on renouncing my American citizenship. That's going to take another year or two. That's something I'm just going to do. Trust me, in a few years, I will not be an American citizen. But renouncing your citizenship is a very complicated process, and you need several passports before you do it. It's very complex. You can't just go do it, unfortunately. So check back with me in a few years and be like, woo, fuck, I'm not an American citizen anymore. But I'm working on it. You kidding? Are you kidding? Yeah, I still have to pay taxes in the United States. I don't live there. Not much. I don't pay a lot of taxes. I pay some. So hell yeah, man. Let us know in the Alpha 2.0 Q&As next week. Look forward to it. Yes, it'll be on my mailing list. Get on my mailing list. Otherwise, YouTube will do announcements on YouTube, but no one sees those. Does getting a visa to come back to UAE still require, and do they check for medical insurance? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. That must be a very old thing from many years ago before I moved there. They have never checked that in my life. No. Getting to the UAE. Oh, wait a second. I don't know what country you're from. If you're from like an African country, then perhaps. I don't know. If you're from a Western country or a normal country, no. But if you're from, Bangladesh or something, I don't know, maybe. I don't have evidence for that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Get in on those programs. Register those things if you want. If you have a need, you have a deadline on several of them, okay? Business Builder, Founder Sanctum, Guadalajara seminars, and the Dubai stuff. There are hard deadlines for these things. And we get emails all the time. Hey, I missed the deadline. Can I? No, you can't. I'm sorry. Okay? That's what I'm telling you now. Cool? Cool. All right. I'll see you guys very soon. Have fun.